And I'm going to say to that camera, we're live! Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 116 of the Crafty Boys. And we let Dave pick the beer again, so you know what that means. I don't even have to finish that sentence. We already know what that means. Dave.
Okay, like I'm the only one that this happens to. Really?
Yeah, it's kind of how it works, man.
All right,
I gotta say, this
let
one
Dave at
seemed
least announce it.
extra weird.
Go ahead, Dave, because, you know, everybody's watching.
Oh, yeah. Millions of peoples. Even the Chinese. So...
What?
We're doing...
Even the Chinese are watching? What?
We're doing subs now. So, this is it, or it was supposed to be it. The ZRA, or I guess if you're American, ZRA. But this is a Canadian beer, so fuck it. It's ZRA, and it's Zombie Repellent Ale. Oh, 2. I didn't catch that. It's the ZRA 2.
For 2000.
Category 12. And, okay, so here's the thing. I was told almost immediately by Shane that there was no way. There was no such animal. It wasn't even released yet. So I'm thinking, what the hell? What is going on? I find it a little hard to believe, a bit of a cognitive stretch, if you will, to think that these bottles have been sitting on shelves for a year.
I'm not following.
Say, bitch.
You're talking to me?
No.
Oh, okay. Alan, answer for yourself.
Okay, so if you have the ZRA 2, then you have the new one. I also found the ZRA 2. Here's the thing. ZRA 2 was just released very, very, very recently. Like, we're talking like within the last week or so. And it hasn't made its way over to Vancouver yet, which is why Shane is unable to get his hands on it. The poor bastard. However, I will say this, and I know this for a fact, it may be a blur to you at this point, Shane. You have tried the ZRA 2 at Beerfest.
This year?
Yes. It was one of the very last ones we drank, but we had it at the Category 12 booth.
That may explain one or two things.
So we have tried it.
Nope, no memory.
No memory. Okay. All right. Well, we'll get to Beerfest in a little bit. But okay, so Dave, tell us about this beer. Why'd you pick it?
Why did I pick it? Well, I had seen this before, and I thought, And part of it was, of course, availability. And I thought, okay, I think we're pretty reasonable with Category 12 usually.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like a threat.
Not so much. But I just like the sound of this strong ale. So I thought, hey, why not? It's a little early for Halloween, but maybe we can consider this our pre-Halloweeny run-up beer, if you will.
Right.
It has a serum of 17, a Kug of 1.060, and international beer units of 24. So it's still relatively mild, and the hops won't slap you in the tonsils, which suits me fine.
Cool. So the ZRA Zombie Repellent Ale is dubbed the anti-pumpkin beer. If you're tired of pumpkin beers in around October and November, then and you want something that's seasonal, then the zombie repellent ale is what you want. Why are you laughing, Shane?
Sorry, I'm back on these slap me in the tonsils. That to me is, you know, just saying, it's caught my attention.
Okay, so are we going to open this thing and pour it? Shane is going to be drinking something else.
Oh, yes, Shane. What did you
Yes,
to grab?
because Dave screwed us over this week again. I'm going to be drinking some Red Truck Wicked Smart IPA, which Allison so helpfully went across the street and picked up for us today. So there you go. I'll be right back.
Which we also tried at Beerfest, incidentally.
Ah. It sounds like a new offering. Okay, so
this year's ZRA is assumingly a bit different from last year's. It is a Belgian-inspired red ale with full body, fruit-forward aroma, and hints of spice from both their Belgian yeast and aromatic hop selections. Now, I thought I had read somewhere that they use a lot of vegetables in the ZRA, but I could be wrong on that. I'm actually looking for that information now, and I'm not seeing it, so it must not be true. So I'm going to take it back, and just say that it's a spicy beer that has no pumpkin anything in it. Pumpkin spice, pumpkin seeds, pumpkin
strands.
I have found where is it here? It is being referred to as the spice herb vegetable beer.
Yeah, okay. So that's where I read that.
As to what it is, a Belgian red ale, hops, malts, licorice, blah blah blah, pumpkin spice zombies out of their trance. Okay. Resolve your fight through the pumpkin beer loving zombie hordes. Does not say anything else about why it's referred to as that. So I must be missing something, or I just don't drink enough of it. So there you go.
Now, I did try last year's ZRA, and I really like Category 12. I like what they put out. I was not a big fan of the Zombie Repellent Ale last year. I thought it didn't know what it was going to be. What?
This is my kind of red ale. It's spicy and tastes like my nuts. However, wow. Okay. Sorry, I just saw that review. There you go. Somebody out there, apparently in Victoria, this beer tastes like. Actually, this is for last year's batch. Tastes like his nuts. So, Alan, you like this dude's nuts?
This year's, you know, it tastes a little bit different. I think. I'm trying to remember what it tasted like a year ago, and you know, it's got that spicy flavor. I like the color. I like the a lot of lacing going on there, which is
it's very red, which I really like. The color is very vivid.
It actually looks more like a copper, just like this. But yeah, on the screen there, it looks a little bit reddish. I like it. It's not the best thing that Category 12 has ever put together. But for a seasonal, you know, for a one-off, you know, it's pretty good. You could do worse. Dave, what do you think?
I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. I guess I would have to say as well. It's not one of my absolute favorites, but it's very drinkable, I think is how I would put it.
So I guess, if you ever find yourself, you're out and about and a bunch of zombies come barreling down on you, just, like spray this on the zombies and they go away. I guess is kind of what they're saying.
I think that's, of all the things you could be, that is definitely something I would prefer to be, is something that is tasty, that people would love to drink, and also saves lives.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And kills zombies. That's important.
Very important.
In this day and
Dave?
age.
Yes.
Well chosen. I can't believe I'm saying that. But well chosen, sir. Well,
you might not be saying that if you're actually tasting it.
All right, so
I'm drinking the Red Truck Wicked Smart. It's their unfiltered IPA. At least I think it's unfiltered.
Looks very golden.
It's very golden. It's quite good. Very citrusy. Right now, you can only, of course, get it in the pub itself across the road. It is a North. Now, here's the thing. I've actually recently been introduced to these, and I think we actually had one. Where is it? Is it the Side Cut IPA? I believe it was the Side Cut IPA that we had in episode 108, which was a northeastern. They call it the Northeast style IPA,
right?
Which is sort of New England up there, sort of Vermont and Maine and whatnot, New York and that kind of thing. Where apparently they're using more aromatic hops rather than bitter hops, so you get a lot more taste. You get the bitterness is way down. And this one, I believe, or no, sorry, it was the other one. It was the Side Cut, where instead of using hops that you get and grind up, or you get them in pellets, or however you want to, or even the full plant, they're using a lot of the this newer sort of style of getting hops into beer, which is the oils. They actually excrete oil from the plants, and then they put it into the beer, which takes a lot of the whatever you want to, the bitterness. Even if it's a bitter hop, it takes a lot of that edge off. I guess Dave's description of what was it? Slapping the back of your throat. What was it?
Slapping you in the tonsils.
Slapping you in the tonsils. Which sadly I don't have any tonsils, so I was 4 when they took them out. So
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Jubilee Hospital in 1976. I was getting tonsillitis, like apparently every few weeks I would get another bout of it, so they decided to take them out. That was when parents weren't allowed to stay overnight with children. I remember it today. Actually, I do have a very vivid memory of it. I remember being in a room with a lot of metal cribs, and that's kind of how they rolled. But anyway, anyway, so they using hops oil rather than the plants or the pellets or anything. That changes the flavor, allows you to get a lot more flavor. If you want to go, if you want to take say Citra hops, which I really like to use, which is really expensive, gives you a lot of that sort of lemony, citrusy flavors on the beer. So do that using an oil, and you get the emulsion. Really, it mixes in way better than the actual plant. So there you go.
Okay.
I like it. Put it this way. This is, instead of drinking their regular IPA, this is what I've been drinking lately.
Good. Okay. So, Beerfest. Great Canadian Beerfest.
When was that, Alan?
It was this past weekend.
Really? Oh, well, last Friday, huh? And Saturday?
Yeah, last Friday.
In Victoria. Cool.
In Victoria.
Yeah, who was there?
It was the 25th anniversary. Dave was not. You
Dave
and I
was
were there.
I would like to point out, Dave, that not last year, but the year before and the year before that, so 2 and 3 years ago, Locke was there, and he traveled from Toronto to be there.
Portland.
So,
Toronto, yes.
No. Last year he didn't come because he was in Portland, and the same thing for this year.
Right.
But
no, he did come last year.
Did he come last year as well? Oh, yeah, that's right.
You remember he bought it. He arrived and bought a ticket at the gate.
That's right. You're right. So Locke came the last 3 years from Portland, Oregon, Dave.
International border.
So let's see. What is the? If I bring up a Google map here and I do like a Victoria to Portland, Oregon direction thing. So let's start in Victoria, BC. And let's say we want to get directions to Portland, or actually from Portland, Oregon. There we go. Portland, Oregon, United States. Here we go. So we'll actually, he went up through Vancouver. So make sure that's correct. So that is a 7-hour, 19-minute drive, which he did in his Jeep. Now, if we change the origin of this starting, let's be even crueler and say it was Campbell River. Let's see. That is a let's see. You only have to come down the island, so that's
no ferries.
2 hours and 54 minutes at the speed limit. So 7 hours 20 minutes versus 3.
And who does the speed limit? Really? I mean, come on.
I've driven the island highway.
Anybody is going to go over the speed limit, right? So it's probably more like 15 minutes.
I mean, it's not like you're having to drive through like Royston or Union Bay or Buckley Bay or Fanny Bay. You're taking the major highway, man, the Route 19. I mean, it's not like you're in backwoods, Fartville. You're not driving over to Sprout Lake or hitting up Gold River and swimming the rest of the way. No. Dave. 2 hours, 54 minutes. I don't know what to tell you, Dave. I don't know what to tell you.
So anyway,
see, Dave, hang on. If I include Dave, just to give you a bit of a perspective on why we're criticizing you.
Okay.
If I change the route here and run it through Tsawwassen Ferry Terminal, so you get to Nanaimo, you hop a boat, you go all the way to Tsawwassen, you wait for the next boat to Victoria, you get on that boat, and you come all the way back to Swartz Bay and then drive down to Victoria. That's still 6 hours and 56 minutes with the ferry. So I'm just pointing out, Dave, that it would take you longer by 40 minutes almost to drive. Actually, sorry, 30 minutes to drive to Portland, Oregon. Case closed, Dave. Case closed, sir. Do you want to show the family and friends at home your new girlfriend?
Oh, yeah. Dave's got one of the reasons why Dave didn't come down, apparently, is because he's got a new girlfriend.
Yeah, pick her up, Dave, off the floor. I'm sure she's still there.
No, disappeared.
No, she's not drunk. It's a cat. He's got a new cat.
Not drunk. It's a cat.
Maybe it is drunk. I don't know. But
wait a minute, Alan. Alan, that deserves a fist bump.
Why are you fanning yourself, Alan?
Huh?
I said, why are you fanning yourself, and what are you fanning yourself with?
Because I'm so hot. All right. So this was the program for the Great Canadian Beer Festival. Like I say, it took place on Friday, September 8th and Saturday, September 9th. We attended on Friday, September the 8th. There was something like 66 breweries there and something like between 250 and 300 different beers to be sampled, of which I would say Shane and I probably tried
12.
combined maybe between 30 and 40. Would you
Alan,
say that's about right?
Can you hold up the map there?
Oh, the map, yeah.
And point out for me where the entrance was that we went in and left from.
The entrance would be right there.
Okay, now on the left there, so I'm going to put the camera on you. What is that? So you walk in there.
Yeah.
And there's the token booth. Now, what are the ones to the just up a little bit? Go up, right there. Now, what are the numbers of those two? Like the one you have your finger on, and the one to the left of your finger. What are the numbers on those ones? Yeah, I'm trying to recall the
56,
actual breweries.
56 and 55. Right there.
So 56. 55. So 53, 54, 55, 56. Okay. Who is 53 and 54?
53 and 54.
I'm trying to remember that gin lime thing.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure the gin lime thing was, I'm pretty sure, Fuggles and Warlock.
Ah, right.
53 is KPU. Driftwood is 54. 56 is Spinnakers, and 55 was Four Winds. Yeah. So now we did try a lime ghost, and I remember being very impressed by it. Now I could swear that we tried that at Lupolo, but when I look at Lupolo in here, that is not one of their selections, which means either it was a last minute addition that they made after the printing of this. Lupolo was at booth 13.
So the Black Lime Ghost, that was okay. That one I do remember. Now,
and I'm pretty sure that was Lupolo.
I'm just trying to remember what the that other one was. My God, I can't remember, but it was like a gin and something, gin and pepper or something. Like it was very strange, but I kept going back for it. What was 53?
53?
I wish I kept my map.
Was KPU.
So KPU Brewery,
which is actually a brewing school.
That wasn't. No, I don't think that was it.
Where are they based?
Kwantlen College. It is, I believe, the very first year of that program, or I think they ran last year as well. So it's the second year. Yeah, it's basically if you want to become a brewmaster, you go to school for it.
So yes, Fuggles and Warlock did have a gin and lime pilsner. They also had a gin and tonic Shiori peach sour, which I to understand sold out within the first 2 hours of Friday. Wow. Meaning that they had none left for Saturday.
Yeah.
Now we did try some really good stuff. Sticking out in my mind from Moody Ales was the Lusty Chocolate Oatmeal Stout,
which I didn't have. I don't think I got that one.
It was like drinking chocolate cocoa, is what it was like. I don't know how else to explain it. I mean, you could almost feel the texture of the cocoa powder, in it. I mean, you couldn't. There was no texture to it. It was beer, right. But you could almost sort of detect it. From Mount Aerosmith, there was the Comfortably Chum Hefeweizen, which was that was fairly good. And I'm looking through my Lupolo. I'm so sure it was Lupolo. had a lime ghost that was absolutely superb. It's not in the book here. I'm fairly certain that's where it was from. Does anything else stick out to you, Shane?
Sadly, no, because this year, every year there's usually something that I go wow over. Like, I must have this again. Is this available outside of the festival? Like, are there ways I can get it? With the exception of maybe that one beer that I really liked, but obviously didn't like it enough to remember what the hell it was. I basically just, I was not shell shocked this year. I was really hoping that I would again. Last year, I remember something being really amazing. Maybe it was the fact that I got home in one piece. But you know, there were beers that that stood out. But I don't know, this year, I'm not sure why. Nothing really sort of grabbed me and slapped me around.
No, that is true. Having said that, there were some beers that I missed out on. Looking in this book the next morning, I'm like, oh, should have had that. In fact, I almost wanted to call you up and say, hey, do you want to go this afternoon to the Saturday one? Because there was tickets still available. But I thought better of it. Was the what we missed from Driftwood was the Old Cellar Dweller 2016 cask. Now, Old Cellar Dweller from 2016 is a beer that we all have that we're sitting on right now, letting it age to do a future show on. I would have liked to have been able to try that cask just so I could get an idea of what the beer is probably like right now without having to crack open the beer.
Good point.
So I wanted to try that one out, and I completely forgot. So that one is a bit of a loss. I also had from Red Truck there, I had a blackberry thing, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Let me just see here what else. And part of the problem is because, I mean, this is a Victoria-based event. I live in Victoria. I tend to stay away from the local breweries. So, you know, the Swans and the Spinnakers and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to overindulge with them because, I mean, they're so accessible to me, right? So I tend to go with other things, and I think you felt a little bit differently, Shane.
Yeah, I definitely did. I just, you know, I just was really hoping that there would be a Dave there. So, Dave, question. What did you do on Friday night or Friday afternoon?
I was probably working on my schoolwork. I don't remember exactly.
So you were basically furthering your education than hanging out with us on a Friday afternoon drinking beer.
Yes.
You sad state of a man.
I know. What can I say?
Just saying. Dave.
By the way, Alan, you're right.
What?
The Black Lime Ghost is Lupolo.
I was right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They list it
Good to
as
know.
a growler fill. So Shane, get on it.
A growler.
Now, where's Lupolo located? I wasn't able to figure that out.
They are on Venables.
Oh, up on yeah, they're right by the that place that I can't think of at the moment, but yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
They say they are in Yeast Van Brewery District.
The Yeast Van Brewery District. Yeah.
So
basically,
and one beer that I'm really not liking that I missed out on from Strathcona was a beer called Cherry High, which was made with
That sounds good.
which was a sour beer made with cherries during fermentation.
really?
Apparently, it's quite carbonated and very tasty, and we missed out on that. Also, from Swans, they had a special cask for Friday called the Lucifudge Cherry Choco Porter. Would have loved to have tried that. Oh well. You can't try them all. I mean, there's 250 to 300 beers at this event, and try as you might, there is no possible way that you could try them all. Now, Shane, avoid the problems of the past. How did you feel the next morning?
Avoid the problems of the past. Avoid them. If you don't, you will die. I actually was fine. I was careful this year, so it wasn't like last year where I thought I was going to die because
Well, how many beers did you drink last year?
That's the problem. I don't remember. It was one of those things where one of those moments where you just get wrapped up and you're very excited and you're completely at home. You're just not wanting to be anywhere else. And then you quickly realize that you're going to die. Not because of anyone else, not because of anything that anyone else did, only because I was an idiot. So this year I was definitely watching the consumption and making sure that I wasn't going absolutely
bonkers,
where I, wake up the next day and realize that the pictures on my phone I have no memory of taking. So,
So this year I didn't try as many.
Did he freeze for you?
He froze.
I would say.
Oh, there he is.
That I tried. This year was about 20, and it wasn't because I meant to cut myself off at that number. It was just my tokens seemed to last, until that point. Normally what I would do is I'd buy a bunch of tokens, they would run out, and I'd go buy some more. But this year, I didn't need to. The time seemed to fly by a little bit faster than it normally does. And maybe that's because of the later start time. I don't know. It's still the same.
It is entirely possible.
Anyway,
I think it was primarily just the I don't know. I would like to say it was the duration. The later start time somehow mitigated our stupidity. But
I think it was also the fact that we went out for greasy burgers beforehand.
That's true, which we didn't do last year. We did the year before that, but last year we failed to do that, and we paid. Well, I paid.
I did too.
Did you? Okay, good. That we paid a price for being
not full up of grease.
Yeah. Thank you, Fat Burger. Sponsor our podcast. But yeah, I mean,
yeah, I like Fat Burger.
Fat Burger, I haven't been there since the prior 2 years before. However, now I can say that it saved my bacon.
No, bad, Shane, bad.
So time, Shane.
Time, as in what time is it right now?
No, did you have a good time?
Oh, did I have a good time? I heard time, Shane. It's after 9. I had a great time, and I will go again because I know that the event takes place 1 year from now, and there's no reason for me not to find the time to plan and go.
That's right.
It's
Well,
1 day
you know,
out of
there-
364 days from now, or well, actually less than that. So I'm sure, Dave, that you could get your homework done, schedule some sort of makeup day if you can't
Well,
be at
I
a
am
class
thinking,
or whatever.
hoping, thinking, planning that I will be much more flexible, committed, and much more flush, meaning that it'll be way easier for me to go.
Now, I will point out that I did see an ad today, so maybe we can do this a little bit sooner. Ad for, because October is coming up in less than a month, and at the market on Douglas Street there, the old Bay building, they're hosting a Oktoberfest event where your ticket gets you a beer stein, which I think is just a mug. 3 beer tickets, which gets you 3 full-size beers. And there's going to be lots of food and Oktoberfesty kind of things going on there. And that's in October. Maybe something to look into.
That sounds cool.
Interesting. So, Dave, you gonna go?
Maybe. I'm not going to say no. Because if it's at the right point in October, it's possible.
All right.
Here's the thing.
I'm going to take that as a yes.
My course is in its last month, so things are a little bit nuts right now. But I'm done mid-October. So if Oktoberfest falls after that, there's potential.
All right. Look at the lacing on this. I mean, that's just kind of like hanging there in my glass.
It looks like a
that's pretty
crocodile
awesome.
monster.
I mean, you don't see lacing like that in a lot of the beers that we sample here. And
That's
the
a crocodile monster.
ZRA is, it's holding on. It's good.
It's bringing the lace, kids. Bringing the lace.
Bringing the lace. So
now one thing I just... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, one thing I was going to mention, and I talked to you about this briefly before Beerfest, Shane. Article, I don't have a link here for you, but apparently the hops in IPAs, which are very hoppy beers, can cause men to get man boobs or moobs. Which is something that I read. Any comments? Would you stop drinking IPAs to prevent yourself from getting moobs?
According to the Independent, hops in IPA beers linked to man boobs. I'll put this in the chat so you guys can see it. But hoppy beers have a little-known side effect. We're all familiar with the idea of beer bellies, but for your love of the cold one, the lads that could be affecting your body in another way. India Pale Ales, turns out, can contribute to a man developing moobs. Half of the men get moobs. They're down to hormones such as diet, lifestyle. This is where IPAs come in. The hoppy ales contain phytoestrogens. That's it. Not. Blah, blah, blah. What if I need more estrogen? So apparently, yeah, there is part of hops that give us Ferengi heads and man boobs.
Nice.
Dave, what do you think?
I don't know. I welcome this.
I'm down with Ferengi heads. Bring them on.
You're down with Frankie heads. Okay.
I'm down with the boobs part.
You're down with. You just sit around and play with your boobs.
Well, my wife doesn't let me look at hers. So.
Oh.
I don't know what to say to that. My peanut gallery is not here for me to get a opinion, but so basically, Dave, you are the one who's going to benefit the most from this. What a jerk! Wow. I don't know. I don't think it's going to make me stop drinking beer with the IPAs specifically. Dave, what about you?
No.
Well,
I mean, it's everything in moderation, right?
It's not like I drink that many IPAs anyways, really.
What about what if you find out that not just IPAs but beer in general shrinks us?
What?
Shrinks
wow,
us?
Shrinks us.
You mean our man bits? Or shrinks us completely?
Well, actually, both are completely horrible.
Yes.
What?
I don't know. Unless we could go down to like Ant-Man size or something, or atomic size, that could be fun.
Yeah.
How?
What do you mean, how? Explore the atomic world, man. That'd be trippy.
All right. Fine.
I don't even. Dave, you make no sense
sometimes, man. Down with the atoms. What? How does that not make sense?
It doesn't make any sense because, you know, science is fake. The world's flat.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
All right. I'm out of beer.
So am I. I think we should call it for the night because I need to go get more beer. But next week, what beer are we going to have that's going to follow up the Category 12 ZRA2? Dave's not picking it.
Nope.
You're picking it.
I'm thinking we need to go for a Pilsner this time.
Again?
What's with you and Pilsners?
What?
Okay, fine. Shane, you pick a Pilsner.
What are you talking about?
Well, suddenly you're all like, pills, man. Bring on the pills. I don't get it.
Specifically from Phillips. Because Dave McCann suggested it to us like 3 months ago, and we didn't follow up. So
Who's he?
He's somebody who watches our show.
Oh,
he's a cool guy. But yeah, the Phillips Pilsner is what he suggested a little while back, and we have been pretty heavy on. Let's see, the last several beers we've had: ale, IPA, stout, pale, wit beer, which is sort of pilsnery. So we haven't had one since 100. I don't know. I can't speak anymore. What is in this beer anyway? My God! Oh no!
Estrogen!
Oh my God! I broke boobs! Jeez! Thank you. Hey, Dave, can you look down for me? At the floor?
Look down at the floor.
As Dave finds out that his junk has shrunk and fallen off.
Ah!
There we go. So anyway, so that's it for this week. We're cutting it short a little bit because, you know, we've had a lot of beer since last Wednesday, and it's just not stopped. So we're slowing down. Dave's asleep, and there's nothing cooler than Dave snoring on the show. So don't forget to come on back next week. We will be streaming again for episode 117. Possibly the Phil's Pilsner. We're not entirely convinced that's it because you never know. I'm gonna go to the beer store. Maybe we'll find something else that we can all find, Dave. Or I might pick something that is only brewed in my home and nowhere else. So there you go.
I think you should do that one time.
Thanks, Dave. Anyway, that's enough. Thank you all. See you next week. Alan, take us out.